honestly, I don't know if I get dressed and it influences the project that I am working on, or if I already have the project in my head and then I dress in an outfit to match. But today I want to make book pillows, and these are really cute, easy DIY gifts for bookworms, especially children. They are pillows with little pockets on the front where you can stick your book, stick your bookmarks, stick your book light, all your book accessories, and there's a handle on the top so that you can carry it on a road trip, carry it on a long plane flight, carry it around the house to your various reading nooks. So that's what I'm making today, and I've got 2 different fabrics. Let me show you all of the supplies that I need. I've got 2 different fabrics as my main fabrics. One of them is this book's print from, it's called the Literary Fabric Collection from Crimson Tate. Heather Gibbons, she is the creator of Crimson Tate, the quilty shop. And it's got this like text print in the background and stacks of books. And there's a lot of different sort of coordinating prints that are all very bookish. And so I'm gonna use a couple of those. And I have already stuck some fusible fleece on the back. So this is gonna be the back of my pillow. So it's gonna be smooth and kind of thick and squishy. And that's why I use fusible fleece on the back. And then I've got the Rifle Paper Co. Curio book print from the Curio collection. And people love this. When I make things out of this fabric, people go crazy. They sell out. So I'm making 2 pillow backs with that. So I've got my fusible fleece on the backs of those. I'm just gonna keep it down here. And then I've got my pockets, fabric to make the pockets on the front. And I've got finally a use for my big tub of batting scraps. So every time I get a quilt, long arm quilted, she sends it back to me untrimmed, which means that I have to trim off all of the extra batting and backing that was longer than the quilt. It always has to be longer than the quilt, but when I use like a pre-cut batting, like a pre-packaged twin size quilt batting, we'll say, and my quilt only goes 60 inches, but it's 90-inch long batting, I just keep it on there and then trim it off when she gives it back to me. And sometimes I just keep the backing already on there. So then I can cut this down for pillows, pillow tops, pillow backs, or pockets for book pillows. So I found a long strip that still had this navy speckled on the back. So I trimmed it down to what it was. I just made it straight. So your pocket size can really vary. And on this one, I just wanted to use my scraps. So I made my pockets the same size as my scraps. This was about 11 inches, I think, maybe 11 and a half. So I just stuck it on the chunk of the backing that was still stuck on there. And I made it 20 inches long because I'm going for an 18-inch reading pillow, book pillow. So I've just got this little pocket here and it's got the backing already on it because I'm gonna do a little quilt as you go pocket from some scraps for this one. And then with a different one, I've got my 11-inch by 20-inch scrap, and then I've just put a whole piece of the book fabric on there to match that covers the whole thing. And I've already quilted it in just some straight lines in navy thread. And then I attached a 2.5-inch strip that's been folded once as like binding around the pocket. So I've already attached that on. I just need to fold it over and stitch it down so that just like binding a quilt, I've bound this pocket so that it's a little sturdier for when I'm sticking books in there, pulling books out. So this is already ready to stick as a pocket on the front of my Rifle Paper Co. pillow. For my literary pillow, I just had scraps. I didn't have a long chunk of this book fabric, but I really wanted to use it. It's got a nice big stack of books. This is like a 6.5-inch piece. And it had this at the top, which is like library cards, the like inserts that go in your library book before that was digital. And one of the coordinating prints. I've got some scraps here. I think these were about 3.5 inch wide, and these are just little stacks of books. So I am just going to take the plain batting pocket here and quilt as I go and stitch directly on here my book scrap and one of these little light gray scraps. And just like in my quilt as you go log cabin video, we're just gonna quilt directly on here and then press them open and then keep layering scraps, keep layering strips until this whole batting is covered. And then I've made a pocket because I didn't have a piece big enough to just make one solid pocket. So we'll do a little quilt as you go pocket. Also, for the front of my pillow to attach the pocket to, I have more batting scraps. This time I used a 20-inch scrap, and then I just used fabric, solid fabric for the front. This is actually speckled, but a solid piece of fabric is what I need. And I've quilted it directly onto the batting. So no backing, because this is gonna be inside of the pillow. The pillow's gonna get entirely stitched together. There's gonna be no opening, so you won't see this part. So you don't really need to quilt it to anything. So I just ran it through my machine, quilted it in straight lines, just one piece of fabric and my batting. And I used a walking foot. That's my hot tip, where you're gonna get kind of warped lines a little bit because you want the fabric and the batting to run through your machine evenly. Walking foot. So this is the part that will go on the front. Where did my pocket go? Who even knows? So this is the pillow front, and this was my pillow pocket, and it's gonna be all nice and bound. And this will be the pocket on the front. And that will all get attached to my backing, and then we'll add a cute handle. So I've got all my scrappy little bookish pieces, and I've got my plain batting scrap, and I'm just gonna do these quilt as you go, like I'm making a string quilt or, you know, any other quilt as you go project. Just center this scrap a little bit, eyeballing it, of course. That's on brand. So just like any other quilt as you go project, I'm just gonna use my walking foot and quilt and sew directly onto the batting. No other quilting required. I could press this, but my ironing board is covered in all of those other pieces. So I am just going to press it with my hands. I think it's gonna look great. And I'm just gonna keep going with scrap pieces until the whole piece of batting, until all the batting is covered. Because this was an extra long piece of batting. I didn't need it to be this long. So I'll trim it down to 18 inches later on. So I just need to cover up the batting. We don't want batting showing. Now, just like with the rifle paper pocket that I already prepared, I just need to stitch some binding onto this pocket. So I finished putting the pieces on, and I trimmed it down just so that it was straight at the top. And now I'm using some scrap binding. Everything starts with B. Why does everything start with B? Batting, backing, binding. Anyway, some scrap binding, which is, you can also just use scrap 2.5 inch strips, like jelly roll strips, and fold them in half and press them. So this was already made into binding, and I had it lying around, which is why it's so raggedy on one side. That won't show. I'm just gonna stitch this down, the raw edges together. So the raw edge of the pocket and the raw edge of this binding are gonna be lined up. I'm just gonna stitch it down all the way across and bind up. So now all I need to do is take my 2.5 inch binding strip that I've sewn the raw edges on here, and then I'm folding it over to create a nice bound edge. And I'm just going to machine stitch it right underneath, right in between where it's attached from the top. And it's gonna pick it up in the back because this is folded over where I've, just like I'm binding a quilt, this is how I machine bind a quilt. If you're a hand binder, it's just as easy to hand stitch this binding in place, just like you would on a quilt, but it's so much shorter. So now I'm just gonna stitch it down. Done. And then to put in the handle, I have a lot of different webbings. If you have like a thick twill ribbon or twill tape, whatever you want to call it. You could use that too. Or you can create a handle out of fabric that you have folded over a couple times. But I'm using webbing. This is like the kind that you get to make bags with, to make bag straps. And I'm just gonna eyeball it as like, it's gonna give you enough to grab, to carry around with you. And it looks like it's about 9 inches. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm gonna cut 9 inches for each of my pillows. And I liked this blue because it goes with both of the kinds of fabrics that I'm using. So I'm just gonna cut 1 for each of these. So now this is the front of that literary book pillow. So I'm gonna baste my handle in here so that I don't have to worry about it. I'm gonna kind of fold it over on the corners so that it makes a little loop. And then I'm gonna figure out where the center is on my pillow. And I'm gonna baste it less than 1/4 inch from the top of this pillow. Just a little very close to the top, so that it's gonna stay in place while I'm sewing my pillow together. And now I'm gonna do the same thing with the pocket so that it stays centered when I'm sewing the whole thing together. So I'm gonna figure out where the center is. I'm gonna sew it right next to the edge. So this is the front with my cute pocket and my cute strap. I am going to lay it flat and then take my back, my pillow backing that's already got the fusible on it, and I'm going to put them right sides together. I'm gonna line everything up and probably clip it in place. And I'm gonna make sure the strap is tucked in between the layers so that it will pop out when we turn this right side out. So I'm gonna clip it all up, all the way around, especially around the strap, because that is thick, and on the corners so that they don't get skewed. And then I'm gonna sew it, and I'm gonna leave my hole to turn it inside out at the bottom, which means I need to start next to that hole because I want to sew around. When I stitch these together, I want to sew around every corner. So I'm going to start a couple inches from this corner and go all the way around, and then come around the last corner and go in a few inches. And then I'll turn the whole thing inside out. So let me just clip it all up and stitch it together. And as I'm going over around the edge and I'm going over the parts with the webbing, with my strap, I am going over it once, back stitching across it, and going back over it, hitting it again, because I want to make sure that those handles are sturdy. So I've sewn all around the edge. Now comes the fun part. Reach in, pull on the handle. Ta-da! And a pillow is born. And I'm going to use my stiletto. You can use a chopstick, pokey tool, stick. Go outside, pick out your corner stick, and corner up those corners. I think the really tricky part is going to be wrestling the pillow into this. Because like I said, this is none of the inside of this pillow is going to show. I'm going to have the pillow sewn inside. That means I have just this opening to wrestle the pillow into this cover. Okay, here's my cute pocket. It's on the right side. Here's my cute handle. And I might go in and top stitch right next to where that handle goes in, just to make sure that it's absolutely secure so that we can hold heavy books in here. And now, like I said, all I have is this little opening to stuff a pillow in. So I am going to do that wrestling match off camera. Oh my goodness. Make your hole as big as you can at the bottom. This is impossible. It's such a workout. I've busted so many stitches. Oh, I really have. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties. Managed to get all the pillows in. No problems at all. So easy. And now the last step is I have folded over my seams around the hole that I left to get the pillow in, and I've clipped it all up, and you gotta clip this up quite a lot to make sure that you're catching all of the fabric and fully closing the hole. So now I am just going to have a pretty small stitch length. I'm at 2 for my stitch length, and I'm just gonna top stitch like ever so slightly away from the edge, 1/8 of an inch max, and just top stitch along the entire bottom edge. Done. We'll be all done. And we're done. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of webbing, a little bit of athletics, and we've got the perfect DIY gift for bookworms. Here's the other one. Cute, Rifle Paper Co. Sturdy, holds plenty of books, ready to go. Book pillow, complete with handle. Bye.